Good morning, everybody. It is the 27th of August. I get the mail at my office every day, and we get the Indianapolis Business Journal. Now, I'm going to say 90% of the time, I don't look at it. I don't open it. I just throw it on my boss's desk and go about my way. Every once in a while, a headline pops on that catches my attention, and this is what I want to talk about today. I'm sure there might be people out there that watch this that this will affect. I personally never had any medical debt of any significant amount, $100 maybe here and there, but it wasn't anything out of control because I've never even had surgery. My biggest thing was the thyroid that I had done in 2000, and that's been so long ago, I don't remember what I incurred. Anyway, this was in the Indianapolis Business Journal yesterday. It said, medical debt proposal draws mixed response. A national proposal to remove medical debt from consumer credit reports could have a significant impact on Indiana. Now, this conversation is not just about Indiana. I just happen to live in Indiana, where the percentage of residents with delinquent medical debt is higher than in 39 other states. So we're pretty high at the top of states with large amounts of medical debt, which if you really looked around and looked at a lot of Indiana, there's a lot of unhealthy people around here. This is not one of the states really where people take very, very good care of themselves, Marion County especially. So anyway, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau announced its proposal in June, saying the change would affect 15 million Americans who have a combined $49 billion in medical debt on their credit reports. So what that means is if that medical debt is on credit reports, that causes problems buying a home, affecting interest rates on this, that, and the other, and all kinds of other places. So if they're thinking about taking that off of a credit report, that's going to let the noose off of a lot of people's neck in that respect. Because let me tell you, because of stupid mistakes that I made in the past, there was a time, especially when 2009 rolled around and the market tanked, I had a lot of bad credit. I had a lot of stuff that went against my credit, and it took me a lot of years to dig myself out from that. So if they're trying to take medical debt off of that, that's good for people if it's just, they're not releasing the debt. That's not what I'm saying. They're not taking the debt away. They're just releasing it from the credit report, which affects so many things in our lives. It affects their credit scores and hurts their ability to access credit. So that's going to affect buying a new car, buying a house, probably even getting into an apartment these days, because I think they check your credit report on that. Getting car insurance, all kinds of things. They check your credit report for everything. So this, I won't read the whole thing, but if that happens, that's a good thing. But this is also what I want to kind of go into. There are companies that will, let's say you had a hard time 10 years ago. There are companies out there that will help clean up your credit. A little bit like the debt consolidation thing. They go in and negotiate with these people that are saying, you've got $6,000 in a past car loan that you we repossessed or whatever, and you owe us $6,000 from that. These companies can go in and renegotiate that amount for you. They can get a lot of stuff, because this is what happens is a lot of these things will go against your credit report, and you may have paid that off. You may have taken care of it or thought you did. And then it's still on there years later, affecting things for your current situation. So I can remember specifically when I did this. This would have been around 2014, 15-ish, maybe. I don't even remember. I was living in the basement of the gal before I got into my last apartment. And she had knocked, or Tim, somebody, I don't know, somebody knocked the Christmas tree down. And I mean, it was a big Christmas tree down. And I'm down in the basement and I hear this like whack and like yelling or something. And they kind of got in a fight, and it scared me because I'm down in the basement thinking, oh my God, they're going to separate and then I'm going to lose my place to live. That was literally the catalyst to making me move into getting my credit fixed, because I knew eventually my future was going to need me to get out on my own. At that time, I didn't know my dad was going to pass away. I did not know what the future held. But at that point in time, all I was thinking was one step at a time. I got to get my credit cleaned up. So if you guys are in that situation, I'm going to see if I can find the name of the old company, because I had called one of my lenders. He sent me a name. I got hooked up with them and they helped me. And I think I worked with them about a year or whatever. And yes, there was a monthly fee, but at that time I had that money because my rent was like super duper cheap. And they worked very hard to get my credit cleaned up, because it does affect you negatively. So I'll see if I can find that original company, but there are people out there that will do that. Anybody that's buying a house, a lot of times there might be something that dings on their credit report, and the lender will send them to these companies to clean that up and get their credit score raised up really fast. So there is a company to do everything. So anyway, that's one thing I want to talk about real quick. I will throw in here very quickly that my UPS guy is fine. I think his pride and his ego is probably hurt, and the universe has put him in timeout for a week or two. That's all I'm going to say. He's alive and well. Mentally, he might not be in a really good space right at the moment, but he's physically safe and sound. So I found that out yesterday. That's all I'm going to say about it. And technically, I really don't know much more than that. The other guy wouldn't tell me much, and that's okay. The less I know, the better off I am. So also one of the things that I wanted to talk about was karma and watching other people go through it. Now that I'm like, hopefully I've cleaned up a lot of my karma. Okay, so what I will say is, once upon a time, when I was younger and I was much more carefree and careless about other people's hearts, about things that I did because I thought I was invincible. Maybe you all didn't think that. I mean, I did. I know that I did some things that probably were not probably. I'm sure there were things that I did that the universe looked at me and frowned on. We'll just say that. And at this point in time, I feel like they're squeezing every last bit of karmic debt that I owe out of myself as I stretch out into a little bit longer for that house to close, and just the dragging out. It just feels like they're like going, no, we're gonna squeeze everything out of you. But I'm also watching a friend of mine right now that I think is in the middle of paying back some karma with something that I'm watching going through her. Because I know some of this shady shit she did, because she shared it with me. Now, I wasn't involved in any of that, but she was involved with some people that didn't necessarily do good things. And I see a position she's got herself in right at the moment, and I'm watching that. So if I don't know, maybe this is true, maybe this is or not. I don't quite understand it. But if you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you are being pummeled beyond belief, ask yourself, is this a payback for things that I did in the past? If you believe in that stuff. I know a lot of people probably don't even believe in that stuff. I think I've come to believe in that. And I think I probably started as a child doing stupid shit and thinking that came from a past life. The more I got to know about past lives, the more I realized a lot of the stuff that I came into this world with was stuff that came over from previous lives. So, when I find different things happening to me, I'll be like going, I must have been a really horrible person in a previous life. I mean, seriously, some of the stuff that I have had to endure in this lifetime caused by myself, some not caused by myself. I'm down here on earth where, I was in my 30s. No, I take that back. It was much later in life before I realized that there were actually people out there that was trying to kill me, as far as like what's in the food supply, wanted to keep, all of us broke, all of us sick, all of us in chains, all of us, hanging on by our chinny chin chin on daily life. I mean, like, there's like not much enjoyment left in this life right at this moment for most of us, a lot of us. I mean, I tolerate what's going on, and I get some enjoyment out when I can. But at this point where we are at, so many people are in the process of learning past lessons. The whole United States, probably the whole earth. We are in the middle of everybody's karmic payback right now. Whether we've cleaned up our shit or not, we're being affected by everybody else's karmic shit and cleanup. I mean, and that's kind of a hard realization to like go, oh my God, their crap is like overflowing into my life, but it's happening. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? So anyway, put it in the comments and let me know if I've like totally lost my crap or not. I can't think of anything else that I want to talk about. Oh, yes, there is. I wanted to do this at the beginning and I forgot. I really we had that RFK Jr. speech. I have not watched the whole speech. I've heard bits and pieces. I feel like I am a fan of what he has said. I'm glad that he's joining. I got a hair, sorry. I feel like him joining Trump in certain aspects is a good thing. And this is true unity coming together. Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe this is a sign something's going on, because my nose itches like crazy all of a sudden. And now I don't think it's a hair. Me talking about him. Maybe that's what they want me to talk about. I'm on to something. I sent a message to someone last night and I said, so what do you think? Maybe this RFK Kennedy Jr. is the junior that some people keep talking about being Trump's vice president or on the Trump team or whatever. I know a lot of people thought it was going to be John Jr. And now I'm starting to wonder if it's the other Junior Kennedy. But whatever it is, I hope that he gets involved and he's able to get in there and work on the big, I mean, he laid some crap out. I'm having a hard time getting my words out, and I don't know what's wrong with his voice. I have not went back to research what's going on with his throat chakra. And is his throat chakra or is his speaking going to get better now that he's finally spoke his truth? Because that feels like, that's, for those of us who believe in that energetic stuff, his problem speaking has to have something to do with him holding stuff in and not speaking his truth for a long, long time. So what is the medical condition that he has that stops that from happening, that we out here hear that? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I'm wondering now that he has, he went against his family. He got reamed by a lot of his family because he was like, I need to do the right thing here and be damned the rest of you people. And you know what? You've got to applaud that. I don't know what all of his other politics are, but when somebody does that and is willing to go against so many people in order to speak the truth, there's a whole lot of truth getting ready to come out. So that whole thing was very exciting to me. I feel for him. I just recently went through that with my family. It's like, I can't do this anymore. I cannot suffer at your hands anymore. And that's basically what he did. So I guess what I'm asking is he going to end up being on the ticket with Trump? I'm like, oh my God, could you imagine the power that those two would have coming together, or would they clash? Do they need to stay in their separate lanes? Amanda Ellis did a video on RFK Jr. I was watching it last night. She's pretty middle of the road. I feel like she's very good at giving pros and cons of both sides, and not just always being on one side and, oh my God, what a great person this is over here, and she has no flaws. Then everybody knows that's not true. So anyway, I was watching that and it was pretty good. But afterwards I got to thinking, I was like going, I'm just wondering if this is the Junior Kennedy that a lot of people thought was going to come back. I mean, for those that were in the know, maybe they were like hinting and making it sound like it was going to be John Jr., but in reality, they knew it was not. Anyway, I love what I'm seeing in that whole camp at the moment. That was a nice twist, turn of events. I know there are a lot of Democrats out there that are just losing their mind. I've seen some of the comments on Facebook about how his father is probably rolling over in his grave. I'm like, well, if his father was one of the good guys, then no, I doubt if his father is rolling over in his grave, because whatever. Anyway, I think that's it. I know that that's a lot of babbling today. I'm going to get off of here. I hope everybody has a good remainder of the week. Let's keep our heads above the water. I mean, I know it's kind of trying right now, but I do feel like that whole thing last week with him was kind of it was showing us that there are more surprises to come. All right, talk to you later. Bye.